Welcome back to Yorkshire Lad Talks Football and welcome to a new video. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all loving lockdown life as I am. We've had some good news off Boris, haven't we, that we might actually be out of lockdown in June. So things are looking up. I hope you're all well, and I'd just like to say before we start the video, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm actually trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. So if you could subscribe, that'd be brilliant. It's free to do, it doesn't take any time, just one click of a button, and there you go. Just help me out, please, that would be wonderful. So yeah, let's get on to the video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about whether football's actually got a lack of superstars and leaders in the game at the minute. You look at the game now, and you can't pick out many world-class players or leaders, I don't think, anyway, in the Premier League in particular. And you compare it to past times where we had stars in every side, stars in every team, and stars that stand out and go, yeah, they're world class. And I look at the Premier League now, other leagues, La Liga, Bundesliga, and even the Serie A as well. You just look at the players, the levels of players nowadays. There's so many talented players, but they're all talented, but not the finished article. It's probably understandable though, because we had that select era of players where it was Xavi, Iniesta, Frank Lampard, Scholes, Drogba, Rooney, Ronaldo. Ronaldo and Messi are still playing, but now their time's coming to an end. You're looking for the next batch that's going to come through and really stand out and make football brilliant again. It's still brilliant, but I just think we're missing them standout talents and superstars. That's the word I'm looking for, superstars, because we have Haaland and Mbappe coming through, and behind that, it's just up-and-coming talent that are trying to get to that level. And the drop-off between Messi and Ronaldo at the minute is quite substantial. Mbappe and Haaland are probably the closest players to closing that gap. But I think we need a lot more players to be able to come into that bracket and stand out as just being world-class. You look at the Premier League at the minute, we probably only have a select few world-class players in Van Dijk, De Bruyne, and maybe Mane and Fernandes, but Fernandes has only been doing it at Manchester United for a year and a half, so I don't think you can call him world class yet. And you compare it to what Premier League clubs used to have, especially the top six, you'd have world class players in every side. You'd have Chelsea would have Lampard, Drogba, Ashley Cole, John Terry, Petr Cech, and then with Manchester United there was Scholes, Roy Keane, Ferdinand, Rooney, Ronaldo. And then you look at especially Chelsea's side now, I can probably think of Kante, who was world class, and he's the closest I'll get to it now. But I just think we lack them real superstars in the Premier League. But I hope with the emergent talent we do have coming through, with the likes of Mason Mount, Saka, Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, I think we can get back to them levels again, because this talent that is coming through is brilliant to watch, and they're playing at such a high level already that I think they can get there and bring these superstars back to the Premier League and ensure that we maintain this level of being the best league in the world. A good example of a team's falling standards and brilliance is Barcelona. You look at the game the other night against PSG, and the old Barcelona would not have allowed that to happen. They wouldn't have allowed a PSG side to push them over 4-1 at home. There was no leaders, there was no mentality in that side. It's all young, it's inexperienced, and they only had Messi to falter, and he didn't look like he was interested. He's missing them leaders and brilliant players to play alongside him. So you compare the two sides, and the falling quality has dropped dramatically. And that leads me nicely onto my next point, which is about how I don't think it's just world-class players we're missing. I think we're missing world-class leaders, players who want to put their body on the line for the side, players with that winning mentality, that winning DNA, who will take your side and carry your side through to quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, and when it's going rough, they bring them forward and pull the side through it. And we're missing them players, the players of, like, for example, John Terry, Carlos Puyol from Barcelona. He would not have let that happen the other night for Barcelona. So Carlos Puyol, Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira, and Sol Campbell. Any of these kinds of players that we do miss nowadays. We have this we don't have many leaders. We don't have many leaders who lead by example. You look in the Premier League and can you pinpoint one real leader who's aggressive, puts their body on the line? Van Dijk does it, but he's more of an elegant defender. Do we see anyone like John Terry anymore? Roy Keane, who is tough, rough and wants to fight, fights for their side and fights for the badge. I don't think we see them kinds of players anymore. And it is worrying, and you do wonder why there is this lack of world-class talent, or not world-class talent, but world-class players. And you do wonder why that is, and I've got a couple of theories for this. One being, from the academies now, they get trained in such a way that they can't express themselves, and it probably leads up to the first team. There's so much tactical instruction going into the game at the minute that probably players are so tied down to their job roles that they can't express themselves and offer the freedom that they want to on the ball, on the pitch. So this could be a huge factor, this insisting style of pressing and being in line and key to that position and not coming out of that role. That there's not a lot of freedom for players to express themselves. You have to do your job. There's no slacking, there's no walking, and players who are brilliant on the ball, they probably can't do as much as they'd like to, and they don't have the freedom to express themselves as much as they want. So yeah, now I've spoken about that, I'm going to talk about 3 players who I believe can certify themselves as world-class players and offer world-class leadership. And the 3 players are all English. I've gone with Mason Mount, Phil Foden and Jack Grealish. Mason Mount, first of all, he's Chelsea through and through. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He puts everything into the game and onto that pitch, and he never lets the side down. He's brilliant as well on the ball, and he never stops working. So I think he's got the mentality and the drive to take himself right to the top. And he also is Chelsea's future captain. You can see that in him. He's the one player out of Chelsea's side who I can go, yeah, they've got great leadership. And they've got that John Terry-like presence. Maybe he's not the same in terms of grittiness and brute strength, but Mason Mount is such a leader and such a captain in many different ways. Leads by example. He likes to tackle. He's vocal. And I think he's going to be a Chelsea legend. He's one player who I can look at and go, yeah, he's got the mentality and drive to make it right to the top. Another is Phil Foden. You can look at him as well and say, well, all 3 players, Mason Mount, Jack Grealish and Phil Foden, they're all local boys, and they've all been brought up through the academy. So Phil Foden's my next one. He's electrifying to watch. He's going to be a world-class star, that is for certain. He's going to be a superstar in the Premier League, and he's only 19 or 20, I think he is. 21 maybe, but he's still very young. The levels he's playing at now is scary. It's so scary because he's going to become something extremely special. He reminds me of Messi in the fact that he's very left-footed, but he can work that space wherever he is on the pitch. He can cut in and manage to work that opening and that shot, and he's clinical as well. You don't often see that with young players. They're not the finished article when it comes to end product, but Phil Foden already looks like he can do that and offers that end product that Man City need at the minute. So yeah, Phil Foden, brilliant, and he's got a brilliant future ahead of him. And the final one is Jack Grealish. I just think he's going to be world class. I think he's already working towards that because the numbers he's producing at the minute in the Premier League are outstanding. And he's the one player in Villa's side who can take the game by the scruff of the neck, who can lead by example, and who can just carry the side forward with individual brilliance, and he leads by example. That's exactly what we need in the Premier League at the minute. And these 3 players, Mount, Foden and Grealish, offer something and everything of every aspect of the game. So them 3 players can move forward and be world class. Now that I've discussed the key talking points and offered my thoughts on this topic, I'll quickly summarise what I feel. And at the minute, I know for a fact football will become brilliant and produce these world class superstars once more. But at the moment, I do think we're lacking them a bit. And I think we're lacking them leaders who are willing to put their body on the lines, leave their heart and soul out on the pitch. So yeah, they're my thoughts and opinions. If you like the video, please leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm trying to hit a K by the end of 2021. So yeah, thank you. And up the chills.